Steven, this is a great question. Have y'all heard of, have y'all had clients or heard of buyers suing builders for terminating contracts and putting homes back on the market for much more? I'm curious if those victims have gotten redemption. So I talked about this on
last week.
Well, we talked about this last week, but I also put it in a video recently because those people in Lago Vista who finally made the news. I feel like if this happens to you, it's embarrassing, right? So here's the same thing, all like this victim mentality. Well, not victim mentality, but victims typically don't like to speak up, right? Yeah. Right. So whether you're a victim of whatever, don't like to speak up. Yeah. But if more people were to start speaking up about this and this were to start seeing the light of day, there'd be a lot more lawsuits for this. I think this is something that needs to be talked about. So if this does happen to you, I've had a lot of people actually email me and tell me like, hey, this happened to me. It's actually quite a few people. And they're like, I didn't have an agent, whatever. Or they had an agent and said, hey, I saw this, I had this happen. And this scenario happens more than I can account, is that for some reason, the lender will say, oh, you didn't get approval. We're not approving you. And then they'll have even though they'll go, look, I have other lenders. These lenders say I'm pre-approved. Nope, you can't make closing on time with this lender who you were going to use. We're not going to extend. We're putting on for this.
Wait a second. Who was that? Who was that?
It was that was at Lago Vista. That was Coventry that did that.
Okay.
But I've had other people with other builders do that.
Okay.
I don't want to blow up their spot, but I've even had that with Sarah, where one of our clients was with Milestone. Oh, I blew up your spot, Milestone. That they were trying to do that to my client.
Okay,
and we ended up doing cash.
It's happening. It's actually happening. And I kid you not, literally right now in a situation that I'm in, where the builder's rep, my clients decided not to use the builder's lender. And the builder is constantly pressuring my clients to provide a letter of conditional approval, not a pre-approval.
Yep.
A letter of conditional approval.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that even mean? The lender comes back and writes and says, these people are approved. We're good. We're good to go. We're going to close on time. It's not a problem. Then they reply back, we need a letter of conditional approval. I'm like, what even is that? Like, you want me to put that email in a letter and have it notarized?
So I had this happen because I have a client that's with a builder and they're going with us. They're not going with the builder lender. And I actually had the sales agent email me and say, this is what we want. We want the actual letter from your underwriter. And we want this, this, and this. And it's like they kept giving us hoops thinking that we were going to say no. And I mean, this isn't my first rodeo. So I was like, sure, this is what you want. We have this done. We're good. So I like snapshot like the first of it. And I was like, here you go. Underwriter of conditional approval. We're good. So, I mean, that's, if you need, Kevin, we can talk about it and I can kind of help and assist. I'm more than happy so you can relay to who you're using what they need. So your people are good, but usually they're doing that. And then now I'm having a couple of the builders ask for TBD approvals, which we're happy to do if that's necessary, because we're going to do whatever needs to happen to get the loan done. But yes, they're having you jump through hoops.
It's because they make more money by using the lender. They get all the kickbacks from the lender. Right. They're not telling you that, right? No. They don't tell you that, hey, while we're giving you $7,000 towards closing costs, by the way, we're still screwing you. And if you actually do the numbers, like I've had several clients do this, right? Like, let's do the numbers and see how much they're actually giving you. And we'll run numbers with Sarah. And it's like $1,500, maybe $1,300. So you're getting $1,300 and you're having to buy down points. You're not actually getting, so they're like, okay, you're going to get 3.25 smoking deal. It reminded me of those stupid car people, you know,
like here.
Yeah, here you go. Like, oh man, I just had a Eastbound and Down, the Will Ferrell. Like that reminds me of like a lot of these people. Yeah, we're gonna get this slamming deal, and then the next thing you know, like you're barely making, like it's like $1,300. The builder is not paying title policy. You are, which in Texas, pretty much, other than in this market right now, the seller typically pays title policy typically. So they're getting away with you paying title policy, and really at the end of the day, you're saving $1,500, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Danny.
No. I'm agreeing. I mean, it's true. Like and that's why we do the side by side. And I think at the end of the day, it's more important you have a lender that knows that cares more about you as a client, and you're not a transaction, and you're not just a number. You know, when you go through those other in-house lenders, I mean, you're just a number, and they don't care about what happens after the fact. But I follow up with clients. I care. I want to be there with you because I know this isn't going to be your first house.
It just sucks to me because I can already see the writing on the wall that they're trying to make it seem like my clients have been uncooperative. So that when it does come down to it, if they for some reason don't close on time, then they'll be like, I'm sorry, you violated the contract. We're going to have to terminate this contract because you're in breach of contract. Because this is the same contract I was telling you where they said if there's any unresolved dispute, the seller can, being the builder, can unilaterally terminate the contract. So that's the kind of stuff that worries me. And I listen, y'all can do what you want. And I'm not saying it's a bad reason, but those things that actually make me more leery to buy from a builder right now. And I promise you, if my clients are presented with the opportunity to buy a new build where they're signing a contract with an unlimited floating ceiling for a price by the time of closing, I will highly advise them not to sign that kind of stuff right now. And I did talk to a builder the other day that said that they, on Tuesday, when was that? Last Friday, maybe. The day before, they had a builder industry meeting. And the general consensus with these builders right now in the industry meeting is that they're totally fine pushing the envelope to the next level of greed.
Who was this?
A builder that I met with that I will not name mentioned that the day before in the builder industry meeting, because they all meet, right? Which I don't know how that's legal, because imagine the realtors getting together. Imagine realtors getting together and deciding. It's the first lesson I learned in real estate school.
That's
that you cannot get together with other realtors.
Code of ethics, and we have to. It's illegal for us to do that.
But the builders get away with it because they're private entities, they're principals on the deal, and their agents, their selling agents typically, if you don't know this, are not real estate agents, and they're not required to be. They can sell homes on behalf of the principal and don't have to be licensed agents.
You said not required to be. Most times they're asked not to be.
Right, because then they can be held accountable to it.
Status.
But all this to say, the builders are getting together, and I believe, it wasn't explicitly stated, but it was implied that they're happy milking this for all that they can get right now. And they're looking for the new opportunities to make more and more money while the getting is good right now. And that's at the expense of us as an industry and of you as the buyer. I promise you that's what it comes down to.
Thanks for watching this short of the REALMigos podcast. For more live streams, hit here. For more clips, hit here. We'll catch you on the next one.